The leader of the Conservative Party, Pierre Poilievre, he says this is the state of the freedom of the press in Canada in 2024. After 8 years of Trudeau, you're seeing this happen right now, all right? And then if you might load it, like right below, they've actually done the exact same thing. By which I mean the Conservatives. They actually went after the exact same dude. Oh yeah. So Thornhill, Conservatives candidate Melissa Lantsman, has David Menzies arrested for asking prickly questions. Literally the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Yeah, it happened. Except this time the Conservatives did it. Alright, so if you don't know, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada is Pierre Poilievre. And he recently said this. This is the state of freedom of the press in Canada in 2024 after 8 years of Justin Trudeau. Here's the horror you see before you in this disgusting communist dystopia called Canada.
The IRGC is not a terrorist group. Why is your government supporting Islamo-Nazis? What? Excuse me. What are you doing?
You're under arrest for assault. Why are you pushing me? You're under arrest for assault. You're under arrest for assault. Police.
Whoa, whoa. So fast. So 21 seconds in, they already got the website set up. So if you don't know, Rebel News, Canadian outfit, kind of what if like Fox News was a little bit more Breitbart and like sprinkle a little Alex Jones in there, and then you get the Rebel News, and they're the ones that have given you so many Canadian institutions that you all know as household names in the United States. Lauren Southern, for example. Mainstreaming of the Great Replacement conspiracy theory, that was from Rebel News before it was on the good old US of A. Now everyone, that one got so normalized. Well done, Christopher Rufo, and the far right, the Christian nationalists, just outright fucking white supremacists spreading an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory like the Great Replacement conspiracy theory, and getting it all the way to being as mainstream as it now, where like almost every major fucking right-wing Republican political candidate, they're all just like, yeah, so I know you've heard that this is a white supremacist conspiracy theory, but apparently immigrants are coming in here, and then the Democrats are giving them voting powers. Well, how did the immigrants get here? I'm not supposed to say the Jews. The globalist cabal is importing immigrants into the United States because of the DNC and the liberal coastal Hollywood elites. There you go. That sounds way better. Okay, and then they're giving them voting powers in the US of A. That's the thing that's happening, and it's like that's wild how that came. Oh, Gavin McInnes, can't forget Gavin McInnes. He's also part of Rebel Media. So this is one of the clowns, I think, of Rebel Media, who he never really had any appeal for the United States. I think y'all just see him and you're just like, that's a cartoon character, right? No, that's a person? Oh, I thought that was a cartoon character, this silly guy. But Christian Phelan, who he's like accosting here,
How come the IRGC...
If you don't know this, I'm not a big fan, not a huge fan. Nah, she kind of sucks. You know, the descendant, I believe, of a Ukrainian Nazi, and I'm not saying that isn't the way the Russians say that, where they're like, all Ukrainians are Nazis. That's not true. If you look at the polling data, less than 2% voted for the fascist party. Russia, you're doing it in imperialism. Shame on you. But Christian Phelan actually is the descendant of a Ukrainian Nazi, as well as she has held up the banners of like neo-Nazi paramilitary organizations before, and then she did a whole thing where she was like, I'm gonna delete it. Canada's got a problem. I don't know what it is with Canada and Nazis right now, because like we invited a Nazi into our parliament, and then that just happened, and then they're like, let's give a standing ovation to the Nazi. Hey, Zelensky, you're here. Oh, well, this is a great opportunity. Why don't you give a standing ovation to, oh shit, Zelensky's giving a standing ovation to a Nazi. That's not good. So yeah, that whole thing notwithstanding, that the reason I'm bringing up Christian Phelan is, again, they're both kind of assholes. This is a fash versus a fash story. And that little banner you saw at the bottom, where right away it was like, hey, by the way, I stand with David. This is David. This is what Rebel News does. They're very kind of quartering of it all. It's like every single time something happens, they're really good at trying to turn it into like the biggest cause in the world, and then just greasing their fans for it. And like, I gotta figure there's gotta be like a life cycle to that. Like that's the Alex Jones strategy, right? Like Alex Jones is so big on being like, oh folks, I gotta tell you this. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened. The DNC is actually attacking me. They've sued me. They're suing me directly for billions of dollars. They're trying to shut us down, folks. But right now, you have the opportunity of a lifetime. You can save speech, save InfoWars, save the entire thing by sending money right now. If you can't afford to do that, well, guess what? We have all the supplements you need, all the fucking, you know, dick pills, pancake, chicken skin, you get it. Like all that shit. Like you can do a fleece, and obviously your fans are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, we gotta help out Alex once again." Yeah, but then can you fleece them again the next month? Can you fleece them again the next week? Like the next day? Especially as like everyone's lives are getting harder and harder, you know, and like I understand this. Like there's got to be a point where it's like after 5 or 6 fleeces, like all of a sudden it's like, I mean, like apparently if I don't give up my money, then Justin Trudeau's gulags are going to take over the hospital or hotel industry. I can't remember, but now David, he just got attacked, so he needs money. So I guess I got to send money to I Stand with David so he can hire a lawyer or something.
Why are you pushing me? You're under arrest for assault. You're under arrest for assault. Police, you're under arrest for assault. How am I under arrest? You bumped into me. You pushed into me.
I was just scrubbing. I got my credentials here, and you just bumped into me. So excuse me.
So, Rebel News is not like a journalistic outlet. They just lie, they deceive, they manipulate. The whole thing is like it's utter and complete trash. Usually racist trash or homophobic trash. Whew, transphobic trash. So much trash. Just pure unadulterated trash. Filth, vile. Very, very terrible. He's got his own printed out like press credentials, right? Like again, I could do the same thing. I just need to get myself a printer. I'll put my photo on there, and then I'll just add like journalist. You know, it's like that pedo who turned out to, what is it, in It's Always Sunny, who's like pretends to be a lawyer. We're lawyers. Can I put my hands in front of your hands? Big old hand, you know, we're lawyers. Like, yeah, just because you say you're the thing doesn't make you the thing, right?
You're under arrest.
What is your name and your badge? What is your name and your badge?
Uncle Jack, thank you.
Why
Uncle
am I
Jack.
under arrest? He blocked my way.
It's like GB News in the UK. They aren't classified as a news media outlet. Exactly. GB News, great example. You know, really, really good example. And obviously, any outfit that is basically just like a propaganda wing for the far right, they're not going to want to say that they're a propaganda wing for the far right. They're going to say like, oh, we're the ones breaking the groundbreaking stories. Here's a whole video documentary on how someone was forced to stay in the communist gulags of Canada by having to stay in a 4-star hotel because he had left the country, and then under the lockdown measures, he was supposed to be sequestered for a small period of time.
What? I was just scrumming Christian Freeland.
I'm a police officer. You're under arrest.
What is your name and your badge
I'm
number?
assaulting a police officer.
How is that possible?
Okay, because
You assaulted me 3 years ago. When
Okay, so let's do a little. I want to do an instant replay on this.
terrorist group. Why is your government supporting Islamo-Nationalism?
Now, outside of the question being cringe as fuck, why is your government supporting Islamo-nationalism? Hey, we like to make up words. So at the same time, he's basically. Okay, I think the police officer was standing in the way. But I don't think that's assault, officer. Gotta be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, like, you know, he's a bigoted scumbag of the highest order. This is fash v fash, but you don't, like, that was assault? You know? Was he, like, fentanyl the person? Or just by being in the mere proximity to him? It's like, oh, God. Oh, well, I'm within close proximity to you.
What are you doing?
you're under arrest for assault. Why are you?
See, like, this feels more like assault. This one here. Again, I'm not going to be going to the website, not going to be volunteering, not going to be donating money. I mean, again, it's just bigots wrapped up in bigotry, being roughed up by bigots, fash v fash kind of stuff, you know?
You're under arrest for assault. You're under arrest for assault. Police.
Let's see, standwithdavid.com. Let's see it. It's going to be the Rebel News website, I almost guarantee you. Standwithdavid.co. Sorry. Oh, no, it went right to the Rebel News website. Here we are. Okay, so. Well outside a vigil for victims of terrorism, David Menzies spotted Liberal Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland walking in. Davies tried to ask Freeland a question, but as soon as he did, an RCMP bodyguard ran into David, grabbed him, arrested him, and falsely accused him of assault. Soon, David was swarmed by police, handcuffed, and frog-marched into a police car. Luckily, David's cameraman, Lincoln J, captured the whole thing on video. Warning, it will make you furious. David did nothing wrong except ask a question. The police lied about the assault. They're the ones who assaulted him. They obviously knew what they were doing was wrong because the cop who attacked David refused to identify himself. David asked multiple times for a name and a badge number, which they are obligated to provide. It's deeply disappointing to see how easily the police lied about what happened, all to please their liberal masters. Okay, I'm sorry, you don't get to be the law and order people all the time, every day, when it's like going towards groups you like. You don't get to be like, well, I mean, they're just arresting a bunch of gay guys for being gay, so this is good. Cops awesome. Let's do this. State power executed. I love it. And then it's like, well, what's going on here? Is this abuse of state power? You might have an argument here. I don't think you were assaulting anyone. I think you were asking ridiculous questions. Again, I think you're a bigot of the highest order, but I don't think you were assaulting that police officer. I think you were not assaulting that police officer, and then the police officer started assaulting you. Yeah, it seems to be an excess amount of power. But again, why is it the same thing with the US and Jan 6? You know, all of a sudden, there's a bunch of far righters who are like, have you heard this? What? Prison conditions. Yeah. Apparently they're not great. Yeah. No, but like you're treated poorly in there. It's like dehumanizing almost, you know? You have to defecate publicly in front of other people. You may have to share a bathroom. The quality of the food is very poor. Sometimes there's the rampant diseases, the spread of it, or insects who live within the cells, not clean cells as well. Just really, really poor quality of life. Yeah. Well, some of the prisons they're private corporations, private companies. They're publicly traded private companies. You can own stocks in keeping humans in cages. You can profit from that. In like today's day and age, you could profit from having humans be imprisoned in cages and tortured. You can make money from that. In some of these, like they go to solitary confinement. That's torture. It's defined as a form of torture. You can make money. Like there's a value. Yeah. Yeah. What? Oh, this is a bunch of white people. Oh, crazy. Oh, no way. Yo, yeah, okay, so yeah, no, this is, yeah, huge thing. I got so much to tell you. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, this has been happening for a really long time to like indigenous people, black people, like, okay, so, but yeah, no, it's bad. We shouldn't do that. Yeah, I agree. No, we shouldn't do that. Even if there's some bad folk, and hey, people trying to do insurrection. I did the other one.
Insurrection is about the people.
There we go. But yeah, people trying to do an insurrection. Yeah, naughty, traitors to the country, all that, trying to hang the vice president, you know, that stuff. So, but that doesn't mean that they should be mistreated or tortured in prison. Absolutely. 100%. If anything, the entire institution that we have, this whole prison industrial complex, it's a bad thing. The abolition, all the, yeah, so like, we got so much to talk about. So, you just care about the Jan 6 people? Really? That's it? You don't want, but there's so many more people in the cages. I mean, disproportionately by ratio of the population. A lot of black people. A lot of native people in Canada. A lot of them. Yeah, we had so much to talk about, though. Come on.
Police, you're under arrest. How am I under arrest? You bumped into me.
You pushed into me.
I was just scrubbing. I got my credentials here, and you just bumped into me. So excuse
Police, you're under arrest.
What is your name and your badge? What is your name and your badge?
You've been told you're under arrest.
Why am I under arrest?
Come on over here. We've got a couple of
He blocked my way. What? I was just scrumming Chrystia Freeland.
I'm a police officer. You're under arrest.
What is your name and your badge number?
Assaulting a police officer.
How is that possible?
Okay, because
you assaulted me 3 years ago when blackface was back.
You assaulted me 3 years ago when blackface. I believe he's talking about Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada. Loves blackface. Boy, does that guy ever love blackface. I saw an article recently that was like, it seems that people no longer love Justin Trudeau. I was like, what the fuck? What took you all so long? I'm sorry. Come on. If it comes out that a guy like adores blackface, and it's not like this wasn't in the 1950s, like he actually loves blackface. It was like 2013 or something. He was a teacher. He was a school teacher, and he loved that shit. I mean, oh man, he's doing it his whole life. That man was committed too. Holy fuck. Justin Trudeau, find you a man who loves you as much as Justin Trudeau loves shoe polish. That's all I'm saying.
You mean I was asking questions aggressively? No, your action.
Did you see the video about the cops throwing drinks at people in the unmarked car at the same event? Again, this to me, like you are reaping right now, conservatives. That's all I can say right now. Oh, yeah. Oh, golly gee, it seems like the police they're really abusing their power. Then they're oh yeah, they're saying I assaulted them, and then apparently they're not giving me their badge number. That this is not even on camera, and it's like yeah, the shit's fucked. RCMP, that not a good bunch. Wait till you look into why they were formed. Wait till you, you're gonna have a time. Yeah, open the Google then there, and look up the RCMP. See what they were founded for. See what the purpose of them is. Yeah, you're gonna have a whole time.
Lincoln, you got this on video, right? He's saying I'm pushing people over.
So anyways, I don't want to distract all of y'all. The leader of the Conservative Party, Pierre Poilievre, he says this is the state of the freedom of the press in Canada in 2024 after 8 years of Trudeau. You're seeing this happen right now, all right? And then if you might load it, like right below, they've actually done the exact same thing. By which I mean the Conservatives. They actually went after the exact same dude. Oh yeah. So Thornhill, Conservatives candidate Melissa Lantsman has David Menzies arrested for asking prickly questions. Literally the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Yeah, happened. Except this time the Conservatives did it.
And in the Department of Perverse Irony, folks, check out the tweet.
Oh, I gotta agree here. I gotta agree, buddy. Oh, then there he.
Mr. O'Toole issued around the same time I was being stuffed into a police cruiser based on lies from the Lantsman camp. Quote, if you don't support free speech, you have 4 parties to choose from. If you do, you only have one, Canada's Conservatives, end quote.
They call it the summer for the silly season. Hardly anything of substance seems to happen. Any politicians are typically in their ridings, have BBQs and whatnot, such as the case on Sunday in Thornhill, Ontario, just north of Toronto, and the ongoing MP Peter Kent was having a night shindig in the parking lot. Ontario Premier Doug Ford's War Room Director, blah, 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 for the people, COVID. Speaking of Walmart, 2020 Lantsman had resumed duties as a lobbyist, she's saying. Blah, blah, blah. And I want to know, okay, so, and then I wanted to know how she became the representative for Thornhill riding in the first place, blah, blah, blah. You see, Aaron O'Toole Conservatives are obsessed with the party being so-called Big Tent. Basically, if you're wondering why the Conservatives and the same party also went after, it's because this person happens to be queer. Yes, there are queer Conservatives in Canada. Yes, that's true. And what better way to prove the point to promote an LGBTQ plus candidate representing conservatism in the suburbs? Look at the diversity. They hate the gays more than they have the party unity. And at this point, the party was kind of fractured. There's a lot of people who were the far right going over to the PPC and being like, well, yeah, the PPC is our party. We're separating. You're not hardcore enough for us. So yeah, basically the exact same thing. They're hypocrites. They are. They also, that same dude, he's kind of just a creep show. Like here's him talking about, friend of the show, Rachel Gilmore. Listen to this recording.
But Rachel, here's some advice for you that will truly advance your career, given that you are such a shameless exhibitionist. Next time you get a one-on-one interview with Sugar Daddy Justin, by all means, take off your blouse again. But Rachel, here's some advice for you that will truly advance your career, given that you are such a shameless exhibitionist. Next time you get a one-on-one interview with Sugar Daddy Justin, by all means, take off your blouse again. But Rachel, yeah,
he's big old creep. big creep weirdo. Just, again, these aren't journalists. I'm not a journalist either. I'm not trying to, like, hey, this is not me trying to front, all right? Like, obviously, I'm just a comedian on the internet, make silly things, blah, blah. I'm not saying that I should be held accountable for the things I say. You absolutely should be. Yeah, you can make jokes, but, like, you know, you should still be held accountable for what you're doing. But, yeah, that's just gross. You're just being a weird old sex pest. Oh, yeah, I thought I told you then there, eh? If you want to get into it with that commie Justin Trudeau, maybe pull out your tits, show your titties off. Then we'll see where you get in that. Oh, yeah. They're not journalists. They're weirdos, all right? Big old weirdos.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Can you please hit the like and subscribe button and maybe leave a comment? It really does help the videos out. But first, the people who produce everything you see before you and make this entire channel possible: Amazing Fletch, Anna Loves Riley, Ariane McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Salim, Multimondi, Omni, Peanut Butter Blondie, Political Puppy, Quiet 185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Ruby K, Cernicus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian Demel, Trevbot.exe, Words Greenwood, and Travis McClinton. And also, thank you to every other person who helps fund this show. Their names are on the screen right now. It would not be possible without every single one of them. We cannot thank you enough. And if you want to join the Patreon, please come to patreon.com/theserfs and help us exist.